unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
Hi guys, and welcome to Flat Earth Flat Facts with myself, Stuart Clarkson, and this is my second podcast. If anybody caught my first one, I was talking about a guy who's absolutely fabulous where Flat Earth is concerned, and that's Dave Wise, if you've ever come across him. That's Dave there. So I'll check him out. Excellent. And like I say, I was promoting, or I was showing Dave's app. If you want to check through the archive of the videos there, it will be down there somewhere. But today, I'm doing another podcast. And a little bit of a good one for me. I've been looking forward to this actually, as well as all the all the technical issues I've been having to try and get this one done in the first place. But yeah, today I'm going to be talking to my daughter, Nikki. Now, only the other day I was talking about Dave to her and Flat Earth, and as soon as I mentioned Flat Earth, I got questions thrown at me. And I thought, stop there, Nix. And I said, if you're going to ask me questions about Flat Earth, because she's like Glover, I think, come open-minded. So I think it was just, I mean, if she was to listen to Dave, Dave, if you're listening to this, I'm going to have to get us all on. And but I mean, I can talk a little bit about Flat Earth and the general sort of ways of the Flat Earth, if you will. But yeah, I'm going to introduce anyway to my daughter here. Nikki, you there, Nix?
I'm here.
Brilliant. Is the stream okay for you?
Yeah, but I've not gone to the screen where I can see me yet.
Have you not?
Oh, no, I can still see you moving.
Yeah, sorry. Technical issues again. That's me. That's me again.
That's not technical issues. That's you not pressing the button. It's nothing to do with technical issues. That's you just not pressing the button.
Can you see yourself now?
Yes, I can see my beautiful face. Yeah.
Yeah. It's late at night. It's late at night, and yeah, I've been at this flaming thing all day trying to get this stuff up and running. But anyway, let's see how we get on and talk about what we're going to talk about next.
The world is how the world's a globe. Oh no, sorry, no, how the world's flat. Sorry.
Yeah, right. But like I say, Nix, that David Wise, if you ever get the chance, just sort of like look him up, because absolutely brilliant, and I still look forward now to ever having an interview with him. Anyway,
I'm taking notes.
You're taking notes.
I'm taking notes so that I know what you're saying.
Okay. Okie doke. Right. So, my first question, or my question to you, which I generally ask if I'm talking to someone, and I talk about flat Earth. I mean, the usual reaction is, "Oh, you're one of them, are you? Oh, one of them crazy spots, one of them tinfoil hat wearing conspiracists who think we live on a flat Earth." But my first question, Nix, what's your proof we live on a flat Earth, on a globe? Sorry, what's your proof that we actually live on a globe?
I don't know of any proof. I'm sure if I talked to scientist who's dead set on it being a globe. They give me lots of facts like you're going to give me tonight, as in, you know, the opposite side. Right. But obviously we're all brought up from being a kid, being in a classroom, having a globe on the shelf. We're all taught that the world's a globe. So I don't have any actual proof as such, but that's just
that's basically it, isn't it? Yeah, that's basically it. Is that we're indoctrinated from pretty much being born to some degree. To some degree, I mean, your mother and father always used to sort of like. I mean, as you know, I mean, for years and years and years, I was just going through life as normal, like the average person being indoctrinated. Oh yes, we live on a globe, but when you actually look into the globe model and what is supposed to be happening on the globe and how the globe's supposed to work, and then look into the flat Earth theory, and just simple. I mean, my philosophy on it is, if I can understand something better. Or if I can understand something happening, then something else happening. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
So if I can understand something, and I think, well, there's something to it. So that's why I say, I was a glober, and I think at one time I might have tried to debunk flat Earth, but that didn't last very long because, like I say, as soon as I started looking into it. But anyway. So, we've established then that as everyone, you were obviously under the influence that we're on a globe and spinning around. So, one sec, just let me just transfer over to here. Is that all working for you? Okay, is it?
Yep.
Okay, so this is what I'm just trying to the technical issues on the side, you have to bear with me. I can't even find I know I can't find it. So this is what you think we're doing, or this is what we're told we're doing. Yeah?
Oh yeah, that just took me a while then, because I always kind of see it as more so the sun's in the middle and the planets go round like that, rather than seeing its sun there and the planets going like that.
Well, yeah, technically what the globers, what the scientists try and tell us, or what mainstream science tries to tell us, is that we're a planet. Yeah?
Yeah.
And the planet itself, Earth, is spinning on its axis. Yeah?
Axes.
Okay, Nick, thank you for correcting me. So, our Earth is spinning on an axis, and that we're supposed to be spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. The Earth is supposed to be spinning. And then,
so when you say that, do you mean that's the Earth spinning? That's not the Earth going around the sun.
Yeah, what you're seeing there.
The Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and then obviously we do the whole sun every year.
Yes, yeah. So we're spinning at the actual Earth itself is supposed to be spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles an hour. And then we're supposed to be spinning around the sun at something like, I think, 35,000 miles an hour. I'm not quite sure of the figures, but I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. But then we're supposed to be going around the sun, and then the sun and every planetary system that we're supposed to have out there, that's supposedly orbiting the sun, is then flying through the universe at stupid thousands of miles an hour. So that's, hold on, oh dear, that's another one that just right. So we'll just pause that a sec. So that's what we're told.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what we're told. So it was told that. What's that? I can hear your e-cig, by the way, Nix.
Sorry.
No. What is that picture?
Mirror image. Oh,
Hold
it's
on.
gone now.
Yeah, it's gone. Hold on. I will bring it back.
Impossible on a curved surface. Checkmate. Earth is flat.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's the particular text that's been put on there. But what you see there is an absolute flat, glass-like river, reflecting the city in the background.
Yes.
Is that possible on an Earth that's rotating at 1,000 miles an hour, going around the sun at X miles an hour, flying through the universe? Is that possible? Is it a flat, smooth, iced glass river, as still as sort of like? Do you still think that's possible on an Earth that's rotating at 1,000 miles an hour and?
Well, it's putting it into perspective. Obviously, yes, we're spinning at that kind of speed, but when you put I can't think what I'm trying to say. So, like, obviously, if you got if I got a ball, a normal thingy ball, and I spun that at 1,000,000 times an hour, that's going to have more of an effect than the mass of the Earth spinning it that much. That time an hour. It's the perspective of it. But I'm not debunking it in the slightest.
Yeah, I
see your point.
It's just all I'm saying is, Nix. Yes, like you say, you've been indoctrinated with the globe, so I think you're going to try and defend the globe because it's
defend it as such.
It's been your belief, but all I can say is, if I was to forget anything that I've been taught, yeah, and somebody came up to me and showed me that picture and said, "Oh, is that on a spinning globe, spinning around at 1,000 miles an hour?" Or is that on a nice flat surface that's still, that doesn't move? This is what I'm saying about believing.
You not only think that we're on a flat Earth, but we don't actually spin or orbit the sun at all.
No.
So how do you explain the 4 seasons?
Right. So how do seasons work? Is what you're saying? Yeah. Right, right.
Obviously, we're taught as kids again that the 4 seasons are because at different stages of the year, we're further away from the sun or closer to the sun because the Earth is spinning, and that's obviously why Australia is 12 hours ahead or behind us, whatever they are. That they're 12 hours behind us because they're at the other side from the sun than what we are.
Right.
At points.
Right. Let me just. Can you see that?
I can.
That is the app that I was advertising of David Wise. This is his app. This gives you an absolute beautiful. Sort of like perspective on how seasons and night and day work on a flat Earth. So if you can get your head around this, can you see my mouse? Yeah,
I can see your mouse. Okay,
right. So what I'm going to do here is, if you notice, just watch it for a while, and you'll see what's generally going on. Hold on, I'm going to unpause it. So you see this? You see the second hand going round, don't you?
Yeah, third, but yeah.
Well, the minute hand. The seconds. I was right. The seconds hand is.
I thought you said the second hand.
No, the seconds hand.
Oh, okay, got it. Right.
So that's going round, yeah. So basically, what this is showing you is the flat Earth, basically. And if you imagine the white all around the outside here, is what we call the Antarctica.
Okay.
people call it all sorts. The ice wall, the edge of the earth, or people globers tend to say, right, well, if we're on a flat Earth, sort of like why don't we sail or walk off the end of it or whatever. But if you imagine this circle here is. But first, hold on a sec. I'll just pop up. I'm just going to pop up just to give you an idea of what we. Okay. So,
I'm very bad at geography, so I've no idea what we're actually looking at. But
well, we're looking at basically the map of a flat Earth.
Where's the UK?
So UK is here.
Oh, we're tiny.
Very tiny compared
We're tiny.
to that's UK there.
Okay.
And then obviously you've got Europe here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you've got Asia, like Saudi, Asia, all around here. China and India and all that lot around here. Then you've got Russia, Russia here.
Okay.
All this is your African continent.
Okay.
Yeah, over here.
That's America.
That's South America.
Oh, yeah. See, I knew that bit was America.
Then here we've got Northern America.
Yeah.
And then above that, up here, we've got Canada.
So is that other big one at the top right? Is that Australia?
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
Right. Why is everything kind of concentrated to the bottom half? There's nothing at the top really. There's nothing at the top.
No, well that's that's your ocean.
Oh, okay.
That's just
My
all your.
geography really sucks.
That's just your ocean. No, because basically you've been taught on a globe. So when you basically if you're looking at a globe as a picture, as a 2D picture, you're only seeing, according to them, you're only seeing half of it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And the rest of it is round the other side.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, you don't see the full perspective. But this is genuinely, I think, well, not I think, I know now, that this is how our, sort of like, our plane that we live on, what it's like. And the white, all around the outside, is the South Pole, which is Antarctica.
Okay.
Antarctica is the highest land on the planet, on the plane. I said planet then, not the tee off. So Antarctica around the edge. How Dave describes it is we live in the Antarctic basin. If you go into, let's say, Nick, you go to a field.
Yeah.
And it's got a pond in it.
Yeah.
A pretty big pond. And obviously the rim of it, the ground, is a lot higher than the water.
Yeah.
So it contains the water in it.
Yeah.
Now, look upon that as the Antarctica around the edge is the wall, the outer land of the pond.
Right, okay. So
And
we're like in a bowl.
Exactly. We're in a bowl. So the bowl contains the water, and then we have the land, which is the continents. Yeah?
So that's the cereal.
That's what, sorry?
That's the cereal. So the lands are like the cereal.
I don't get what you're trying to say there by cereal.
I've got a bowl.
Oh, right, I get you. Cereal in a bowl. Right.
That's the cereal. I like the cereal to come to the top.
Right, yeah, well, basically, it's just the continents are just land that's popping out, if you will, of the water, if you will. It's just mountains, basically.
It's not frosted wheat, that.
That's higher than the water.
Okay.
So if you get that in your head on how the flat Earth is, and I go back, if I go back now to this here, so now you can look at that clock now, can't you? In respect to the last picture I just showed you.
Yeah, Australia's moved though.
Yeah, all right. It's been twisted. The actual thing's been twisted round a bit.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. The where the clock is the Antarctic, and then we're in a boat.
Yeah.
This is the bowl that's keeping all the water in.
And in the centre of the clock here,
Yes.
that is basically the North Pole. So you got the North Pole in the centre.
Okay.
Now, we're told that the North Pole is at the top of the globe.
Yeah.
And South Pole is at the bottom of the globe.
Yeah.
But no, North Pole is in the centre of our plane. Here. And South Pole is all round the edge.
Okay.
So, just quickly then, just let me show you this, and to show you about North. This one here. So you imagine North is in the centre.
Why have we got 4 souths?
Because everywhere out from North is south. All this perimeter is south.
Okay.
You've got North in the middle,
Okay.
and everywhere you go, you are going south from North.
So we don't have a west and an east at all?
Yeah. West and East, which is here,
Okay.
is in a circle.
Okay.
So whenever you travel anywhere, you're not going across the land, if you will. You're just going round in a circle.
Okay.
If
So
you,
where does Santa live?
when,
Sorry. I'm sorry. Just carry on.
well, if anything, then Santa lives here in the middle, in the North Pole. Yeah. So you've got the perimeter. You've got the east and west going
Yeah.
round the centre. Now, can you see this red line? The red line in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that red one is what is the equator. Now we're told the equator,
Goes round.
yeah, is the centre
Yeah.
of the ball.
Yeah.
That apparently is where we're spinning the fastest.
Okay.
And so and that's another thing about the globe. How on a globe? Sorry, I've just lost my train of thought. Then, what was that? Where was?
We
where-
were talking about the equator, and then you said that's another thing. How on a globe?
Oh yeah. On a globe, we're told we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Yeah. So basically, they're saying we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and if that was the fastest we go, that would be on the equator.
Yeah.
You quite understand that on the outside of a ball, you're going faster than you would the nearer you got to the middle of the ball,
Right. Okay.
to the top
Didn't
of the
know
ball.
that, but that's very interesting.
No, but that's logic, though, isn't it? That you would go slower. Let's say if you're on a fairground ride, yeah, and you're going round and round and round and round, yeah, you would be going faster on the outside of it than you are on the inside of it. I mean,
Okay.
a lot of people will say, "Oh no, I'm going on the inside because it's a bit slower because you're doing a smaller circle."
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're on the
Yeah.
outside, you're going faster because you're doing a bigger circle. And basically, that's what I can't understand about a globe. Is that if we're going 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, not exactly knowing the maths, the more you walk in away from the equator on a globe and go towards either north or south, then you're going to slow down.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I don't get.
Right.
I don't get that. If you, let's say you sit on a globe, you set off from the South Pole and walk, or whatever, go directly north, you're going to get faster and faster and faster, and yet you don't feel anything.
So, how does gravity work? Because obviously we were taught that there's the centre of the Earth, and that's what's pulling everything.
Well, that is what.
Down to the
Yeah,
earth.
that's another thing that is another thing that's taught to us of gravity.
So
now,
you don't believe in gravity?
if you were talking to Dave, yeah, he'd
Okay.
put his animated glasses on and say, "Cool story."
Okay.
Because, yeah, flat earthers, well, no, they know there is no gravity. Gravity doesn't exist.
So why then, when we leave the Earth and go a certain amount into space, do we float around?
Well,
What's different about the atmosphere up there than to the Earth?
well, in effect, obviously the air gets thinner and lighter. But having said that, you see, also, which you've got to get into your head, is that flat earthers or myself I don't believe in space.
Okay.
There is no space.
Okay.
We live, as far as my thoughts are, is that we live on this flat plane.
Okay.
And we, as I say, we're a puddle, if you will, on this flat plane. And as far as I know, and like Dave says, like, as far as that goes, and as far as the outer... Hold on. It's just ticking through the app there. Yeah, so as far as the outer's concerned, i.e., what is beyond the Antarctica? What is beyond that white bit? Again, it's speculative.
So you don't believe that there's other planets?
No.
Well, sorry, planes, in your opinion. So
Yeah, no. You see, this is it. Flat Earthers believe that we are basically the centre of everything.
So you've got the moon and the sun at opposite ends there. Do you?
What do you mean? What do you mean at opposite ends?
It's at opposite ends of the clock. The sun's at the bottom and the moon's at the top. So
no, it's not. On this particular one I've got here now.
Yeah.
Your moon's here.
What's that at the top then on number 12?
This here. Oh,
yeah,
that's
the moon.
Yeah, but that's only for decorative.
Oh right, okay, I've got.
Because you've got the sun at the bottom.
So my question is still valid.
Your sun's here.
Yeah.
And your moon is here.
So do you buy into the concept that the only way we're able to see the moon, is because the sun shines through it?
No.
So that's what we're taught as kids? No.
No.
Okay. So how do you explain the different stages of the moon?
Well, what do you mean by the different stages of the moon?
Well, you have a full moon, you have half moons, you have eclipse.
Right.
I feel like I'm on a Jaffa Cakes advert, but that's what we're taught.
We are. But as I say, you really need to speak. You could do with listening.
Right, that one's for Dave.
You could really do. Yeah, he can explain this app and how the seasons, eclipses. But as a rough thingy, Bob, if I put this one, you can. It's speeded up. Now that is what's happening day to day. So if you look at the top, it's going through the days. Thursday at the moment, and as it goes past 12 o'clock again, we're now into Friday. So at the moment now, the sun is rotating around in the on the Cancer.
Hey, it's your birthday! Happy birthday! Or my birthday even. Happy birthday to me.
Your
We're
birthday?
on May 29th already. Yeah, look, it says May 29th, 2021. Oh, it's gone.
It's gone now. We're on May the 30th.
Oh, gosh. Well, that was a quick birthday. Anyway, carry on.
But basically, that's it. The moon and the sun rotate round. Now the sun moves from. You see the inner line that it's rotating round now on at the moment. That's as in this line here. That's Cancer.
Okay.
And the outer line here, is the thing about Capricorn.
Okay.
Now, as through the year, the sun, as you can see it there at the moment, is in line and going round and round on the line of Cancer. So you'll notice now, that all the continents that are directly underneath the sun. So you're like going now over North America, coming round over Russia, over the top of Africa.
Right. So I've got you. So if let's say that we've got, it's hard to do with a cast iron. Like so that's our bowl.
Yeah.
You think the sun's directly over it. And it's going round like that.
Yeah, it's the sun.
Instead of us going round the sun.
We are flat.
Right.
We are flat and stationary. We don't move at all.
Is the sun flat?
Well, this again, there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of theories as to, because, I mean, nobody's been up there. Nobody has been up there to see what the sun is, how big it is. So it's all pretty much speculative.
So you think like the space station's load of rubbish?
Yes.
There's not a space station out there.
No.
So these guys just want to get away from the wise for a few months. So like, honey, I'm popping up to the space station for a few months.
The thing is though, you see these astronauts or these so-called people
Astronauts.
that go out to the space station.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, they're in on it all. They're in on all this.
Howard Wolowitz, how dare he?
They're
Howard Wolowitz.
No, honestly, we think that they're in on it all. I mean, you only have to look, and again, Dave's got some fantastic videos on, you know, anything that comes from space. Where does it come from? Who produces it? Who produces it, Nix?
The government?
No. Who's the biggest space agency?
Oh, NASA.
Correct. And basically, NASA are just a big lie. They were created.
Okay.
They were created to lie. NASA was created. Do you know who NASA was created by?
Right, let me have a think.
You're going to go on Google now, aren't you?
No. Hands are here.
Because I don't even know. I don't even know if Google will tell you.
I'm just the Illuminati.
No.
I'm trying to think of who would be like the president around the time.
Actually, I don't think you're too far wrong there, Nix. When you said the Illuminati, then I mean, there's so many stuff out there as to what do you call the powers that be. Many people call them different things: the Illuminati, the deep state, the.
So obviously, America had apparently a race to go to the moon with Russia.
Supposedly, yeah.
Are they all in cahoots together? And Russia was like, "I'll tell you what, this time we'll give you the win."
Yeah, the people that are in the know, the people at the top that are in the know, yeah, they're in on it as well. I mean,
it's very risky though. You think about it, because let's say I'm an engineer, yeah.
Yeah.
And I go to apply for a low-level job at NASA, fairly low-level, just, you know, in an office testing things in thingies. And then I start to rise above the ranks. It gets to a certain stage where I'm going to have to know all of this.
Right.
And then they do like a little induction. They sit you down and go, yeah, I will level you. This is all bullshit.
Right.
You've wasted 20 years of your life.
I think before you got to that stage, you would have an inclination of what's going on.
But if I didn't agree with that, you got to imagine how millions and millions of people are employed by space agencies, whatever you want to call, across the world. You've got to think out those millions and millions of people. There's got to be one person at least that goes, "This is bullshit. Why are we trying to con the rest of the world?"
No.
And just, especially in the day and age of media and everything, and of social media, and being able to get things out there.
Well, exactly. I mean, how many videos are out there? I mean, there's so many videos out there, and David Wise is the app that's up now. If you go on, you have to download it. But if you use that, he has got so many videos, playlists, and everything that YouTube will not give you. If you was to type them in, YouTube won't give you, because obviously, I mean, you're aware of YouTube's algorithms that stop you seeing what they don't want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
But there's loads of videos. I mean, and there's many and many and many of like people that have come out who are quite high up, i.e., pilots. Pilots have come out and said we're on a flat surface. The pilots are saying like, well, I don't fly my aeroplane and keep dipping the nose down round a curve, which is what they'd have to do. They'd have to nose over a curve and keep. They stay, as far as their instruments are concerned, they stay level.
Okay.
They don't go over a curve.
I've got my ball. Right.
Right,
Okay.
now, put your-
what
put-
I'm
put your-
right. So
Put your plane on the ball, on the runway. Put your plane on the ball, on it. No.
but that's what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying though. The land in the globe. Let's say it's a globe.
Yeah.
Doesn't start here. Doesn't start at the top. So this is a great ball to use. It's a basketball type
Right.
thing. So that would be your equator, that middle one.
Yeah.
So the land doesn't come up to the surface. We don't. If I jump up, which I can't obviously, but if I jumped up,
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, I'm suddenly in space because I've left the land. The land isn't on the top of the earth.
No.
The land starts a good few thousand, hundreds of thousands of miles inwards. So we've got all the space between the land and the outer crust of the earth. Yeah. So my little plane, is like here. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So if I wanted to say this is the UK here, and I wanted to go to Australia over this side, I would just, but in it, you can't go in it. You wouldn't have to go round the earth. You don't go round the earth to get to
So where'd you
Australia.
go?
You go like straight, because like I say, you've got all this from the outer crust of the earth to where the land starts. Like I say, you've got a few 100,000 miles, so you just go straight through. You wouldn't have to. I get what you're saying. If we're curved, then you should have to, like you say, pilots should have to take that into account on their equipment.
Yeah, but that's exactly what pilots are saying, though.
But you've got so much space between. It's like like I say, you're not having to curve the, because when we're in an aeroplane, we don't go outside of the planet. We don't go into space.
No, we go approximate cruising height. Approximate cruising height is 35,000 feet. That is an an aeroplane's approximate. Yeah, it's average.
I've jumped off 2,000 foot cliff. That's mad. That.
Yeah, well, they're not all that high. Aircraft fly.
Well, exactly.
Aircraft fly at 35,000 feet. That is the average maximum airliner cruising height. So let's say we're at 35,000 feet, but then there's another, say, 100,000 feet in between where that plane is and the edge of the earth. So we don't need to curve over. We can just go straight. No.
If you get what I mean, but that in my head would be the argument to a pilot saying I don't have to curve around the earth, because we don't go in the earth. We don't go to the outer crust of the earth. We don't go anywhere near space.
Well, I'm not on about. I don't even believe in space, but
we don't go anywhere near the edge of the earth.
No, I don't get what you're saying there by the edge of the earth. As far as globers go, the earth is a ball. And
yes,
when you get in an aeroplane, you then rise 35,000 feet away from that ball.
Yeah.
And then fly. Now, if by what I'm saying is, if when you're flying, because I should have got prepared for this, but I don't know the exact figures on how much curvature. I can't remember on how much curvature is per miles, if you will. I think it's 1 mile. I think it's something, I don't know. 1 mile, I think is something like 8 foot of curvature. So every mile you go, let's say if you can see the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So if I put a pen on top of that ball, if I've stood like directly on the top of that ball, I'm at the level. Now, what I'm saying is, the further you go out down this pen, the Earth gets further away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a drop of curvature.
Mm-hmm.
So as I look out to sea, people say that when you look out to sea and watch a boat and it disappears, they're saying that it's gone over the curvature of the earth. And you can't see it no more.
Yeah.
Which is that is totally untrue as well.
Okay.
Because again, you need to see some of Dave's videos, and I'll try and pull some up for you eventually. But it's been proven fact that there's videos on there where, because you see a boat disappear, but it's only because of your perspective, and that's as far as you can see. What Dave did, and a lot of people have done, is they've got a top quality zoom lens camera, and if you stand on the edge at the water level and watch a boat go out and watch it disappear over the so-called horizon, yeah, and it's gone. Get a camera out, zoom in on it, and you can bring that boat back fully in. You can bring it back to focus and see all the boat.
Well, I didn't know that was why people claim that you can't see a boat after so long because it's the curvature. I didn't know that.
No, if you've got a boat going out along that curvature of the earth, they're saying it disappears because it drops like that pen. You're seeing it disappear because it's dropped down the curve.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you get a zoom camera on a boat and zoom in on it, you can bring that boat back fully in.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, how can you do that on a globe? I mean, no matter what, right? You imagine that pen there, the nib of that pen. Yeah. Now, once that's gone behind, or the other way, once that's gone behind, right? No matter how much I zoom in on that ball, I will never see that. I will never see the edge of that pen again.
Yeah. No, I get you. Your boat explanation is a lot more convincing than your plane explanation.
Right. Well,
I get it. I get the boat thing because that is close that's closer to the land.
Yeah.
But
also let me ask you this. Let's go back to the aeroplanes a sec. And I've never had this I've never had actually a definitive answer to this. And maybe, I don't know, as I say, I'd like to speak to Dave, actually, and ask him this question. But no Glober has been able to explain to me how. Yeah? If you imagine, we're going back to planes now and flying. So you imagine the globe, yeah?
Yeah,
spinning around.
Yeah.
And you're in a plane. Now, quite easily, I can't, but if a plane goes up in the air and goes along the equator, as a global would say, east to west, so you can either go east of the equator or west of the equator. Now, one way that you're spinning with the globe, like when you're going east, and when you're going west, you're flying against the spin. So why does the journey take you at the same time?
Turbulence.
No. If you're going round and the globe is spinning against you, whatever's underneath you is going to get to you.
Well, no, because when we went to Turkey, it took 3.5 hours to get there and 4.5 hours to get back. Yeah, it's the same amount of distance. But it took longer to get back.
You're talking about a Pacific. I mean, there's so many factors that can come into that the plane can take a different flight route due to. But all I'm saying is.
Well, no, because we already knew. We knew before we we booked the flights that it was going to take longer to get back.
That's because planes plan their flight route weeks ahead. They have to, with the amount of aircraft in the sky. They need to know where each aircraft's going to be at any one time.
I thought that's what radar was for.
No, they're called flight plans. And they're set.
Right, okay.
And guess who sets the flight plans?
The Illuminati.
NASA.
What, all over the world? I thought
Yes.
NASA was just an American thing.
No. Well, they are like an American origination, but NASA's everywhere. And anyway, we didn't answer my question as to who created NASA.
I was trying to think of the president.
No,
that was...
nothing to do with presidents. Nothing to do with authority of any sort or
Nigel Arthur Segment. I don't know. I can't think of a last name beginning with A. Archer. No, I've already said Archer.
Anyway, cut a long story short, Disney.
Walt Disney did it.
Walt Disney created NASA.
Don't start slagging Walt Disney off. I like Disney movies.
Well, we all like Disney movies, and you must be the first one to agree as well. There are so many hidden.
Yeah.
There's so many subliminary
messaging. That's the word I'm looking for.
There is so many subliminary messaging in Disney films, and Disney, as far as I'm concerned, is again another fraud to program you to what they want you to believe.
Who made Land Before Time?
I've absolutely no idea. Anyway, we're off subject. Can I just go back to this plane theory?
Yeah, go on, go back to the plane.
Right, we're on the globe, we're flying. Now, we've already talked about flying the equator, haven't we? Now, on a globe, the equator would be east and west. Yeah? So, imagine now then, you're flying north to south.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that plane, when that plane's flying, right, so it takes off, and you've got a ball now that's flying 1,000 miles an hour. So when that plane is landing on a northern runway, how's it going to fly sideways? Does the plane go sideways to keep up with the spin?
I assume again, if pilots debunk this, but I assume that the equipment takes into account like the angle of. So let's say. Right, so let's say I want to go from, let's say again, like the UK to Australia, it's around the other side of the world. I assume that pilots take into consideration the fact that when they get there 12 hours later, again, let's say from North Pole to South Pole, I assume that they would take into consideration the movement of the Earth.
So the plane flies sideways.
Not sideways as such, but it knows.
But if it's going,
it would know its location. So I don't know any towns. The reason why you use UK and Australia is because I can name an Australian. I can name a bit of Australia. So let's say you're flying from Manchester to Sydney. Yeah, they know that Sydney, taking into account the movement of the Earth, will be a bit further over this way.
Right.
Where, so they take that into account.
Right. I mean, I've just given you, like I say, I don't know exactly how a global will explain that. I mean, I don't know, I'm not quite getting you because, I don't know, you see, my logic in my head tells me that just cannot be so. It just cannot happen. A plane just cannot land. A plane cannot land on a north or a southern runway. The plane would have to come down and fly sideways to get onto that runway to follow the spin of the Earth.
Right.
So not only is it flying forward, but it's going sideways as well at the same time.
Right. Okay, I've got you.
But to me, on a globe, that's impossible. When there's an Earth that's spinning underneath you. But anyway,
don't get me wrong. As far as actual logic, to me, it makes more sense that the Earth is flat.
Right. Well, you just answered my question there. Now, why can't you say if it's more logical to you? Like I say, a flat Earth is more logical to me. And I can understand things happening on a flat surface than on a globe.
I suppose because not always the simplest answer in life is the right answer.
Oh, I think it is. I think it is.
But what the question that I've been meaning to ask you since this started actually is, originally we thought the Earth was flat. Years, even centuries ago, we thought the Earth was flat.
Yeah, in fact,
what made us change our thinking?
Because that was when the globe. That was when in the early 1900s. In fact, if you watch a video of Dave's, he interviews an old lady. I think she was about 102, 103 or whatever, and she's got a perfect memory. And he was talking to her, and she was telling him that when she was initially in primary school, that he taught her that we live on a flat plane. The Earth was flat.
The theory that the Earth is a globe only came into thinking in the early 1900s.
Round about 1920, 1930s. When it was taken.
I thought it was well before that.
Nope. Same here. I've learned so much. But yeah, same here. Yeah, nope. It's only as far back. It's only as far back as, like I say, I think 1920s, 1930s was when it was taken out of the school curriculum. And it was proven after that when it was introduced, teachers who then still tried to teach the Earth was flat was dismissed from their jobs.
Okay, so why do? Because you think technology's got better, as in from when we thought the world was flat to when we think the world is a globe.
Yeah.
What's the motive behind telling people the world is a globe?
Well, that is the big question, and that I will. But before this video ends, this is where it will all round up to. Why the lie? That is the biggest question that a lot of people, because we come out with a saying, we say like NASA. All NASA was created for was to create space. They were made and invented, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of flat earthers, is that NASA was made for the deception. They were created to create the deception. Disney was created, I think, originally, probably yes, to be a film creator and everything. But they've got into this deception of space. I mean, a lot of like their films or Disney programs they put out is about space and astronauts and all this.
Well, that's why chocolate bars are named as they are. Mars bars, Milky Ways, galaxy.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Because when they started, I learnt that in school. Yeah, because when they all started, the fascination was about space.
Yeah. But like I say, it's space, as far as we're concerned, is just a creation from NASA. It was created for the deception.
Right.
Managed
to get a pen that doesn't work, so that was great for taking notes. Oh no, it's working now. But so why curate the idea of different planets that they all orbit around the sun, and the specific number of planets, obviously, depending on your inclination, is either 8 or 9. I say 9 because I was brought up with Pluto being a planet.
Well, I say, you see, to me, planets as in physical spherical balls. Don't exist as far as I'm concerned. Everything that you see, as far as I'm concerned anyway, that everything you see above you, be it the moon, as I say, we don't know what the moon and the sun is 100%, because we don't know the size of it, because we don't know how far it is away. But it's certainly not, the moon and the sun are certainly not as far away as they make it out to be. It's a lot nearer to us. We call it what we call the local sun and the local moon. The sun's only just above the clouds. And if sometimes you can see pictures, and I don't know if you've ever seen it yourself, but you can sometimes see the sun and the clouds behind the sun. There's clouds behind the sun.
Yeah.
So how can the sun be X billion miles away, sort of like thousands of times bigger than the Earth, and it's out so? But how can it be on the this side of the clouds? And you can see it. You can see the sun sometimes, and the clouds are like behind it, and the clouds in front of it. And it's like, and then it sets. Sometimes it can set within the clouds.
Yeah.
See, there's just so much that goes against the globe.
Yeah, no, I get that. I suppose what I'm trying to wrap my head around is why, obviously you're saying that planets don't exist, but what you said earlier was you don't believe in space.
I don't believe in space, no.
On this one plane.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe in space, then you don't believe in other planets. You can't do, well, other planes, sorry. You can't do.
No, what we're told are planets X and X million miles away, I think are just glistening. They're just like stars. When you look up at the sky and you see stars that are supposedly X amount, again, the stars are within the firmament. Now, the firmament is what we class as the dome. We live under a dome. Mm-hmm. And everything's within that dome.
So, but my point is, why, let's say Walt Disney came up with all of these theories, and along with NASA and, you know, what have you. Mm-hmm. I just don't get the logic behind creating the image of the sun is the center of the solar system, and then we obviously have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, the other one, and Pluto, and they all orbit the sun, and it's just very specific things to come up to Uranus. That's the one I forgot. Uranus.
What about my anus?
It's my favourite named one. How did I forget that one? But yeah.
No, but it's all, as far as I'm concerned, and globers are concerned, space is just an illusion. It's now. Just quickly then. See, and like I said before, that I feel, and globers feel, that we are the centre of everything.
Flat earthers.
Yeah. Flat earthers. We are the centre of everything. We live on a plane. Now, again, it's speculative as to how big that plane is, how far it goes. If I just show you this a sec. Right, I'm just going to put this on. One sec. Right. No, that's the wrong one. Okay. So you see that. That again, like I showed you before, is our flat.
I'm still on yours and mine's. I can just see you and me.
All right, one sec. Sorry. I do apologise. I will transfer it over.
There we go.
Okay. So now look at that.
We're looking at it.
So, as I say, stop it, will ya? We'll go back to that one.
Okay.
So, in that inner circle,
hold
on one second, just let me get my mouse on it. See my mouse?
Mm-hmm.
So, in here is our plane. This is where we live. The white here is Antarctica.
Okay.
That is what the globers would call the ice wall.
Okay.
Because they say, oh, what's the proof of an ice wall? Well, you only have to go as far as you can, and ships have done it and come up to the ice wall. It's like 200 foot high. But what if we do live on a plane and that's us in there? But beyond, Antarctica, how far and how big this is, we can only speculate. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then out here is another world, if you will.
Okay.
With its own sun here.
Yeah.
Its own sun circulating around. And there's...
So, what do you call that if you don't call it space?
Well, you can still call it space. Now, this is the... You see, I think NASA and the people who sort of like brought this in and sort of like invaded our sort of like education system, if you will. I think again, I think we all know about subliminary messaging, and a lot of the time they are telling us what they're doing. Now, like this is a description that Dave says. If you look out here, yeah. So this is, we would class this as inner space, the inner space.
Yeah.
So what would you call this?
Outer space.
Excellent. Outer space.
Genius. What can I say?
Right, and these other lands that are out here, yeah, they're extra land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrials from outer space.
Okay.
So obviously NASA tell us, and people say about aliens supposed to be being from outer space. Now, whether they're aliens, I don't know. I mean, there's theories that there's humans just like us out here living, and apparently it was said that in the 1600s that the people that lived in here originally in the 1600s couldn't do with the tyranny, and they had to get away, and they found out here.
How?
Just by the gap opened up.
Right.
Or here.
So there's a gap in the Antarctic.
Well, apparently so, because there's a story about again, you'd have to listen to Dave, he can explain it a lot better than I can. But apparently, there's explorers that went out here in the 1600s and found other land. I mean, if you listen to my introduction video to my thingy-bob, there's I've forgotten his name now, but he says that he's been out there and explored, and beyond the Antarctica are lands that the human have not seen.
Okay.
And he just says it's weird that we've not explored out there. Not in our sort of like what's out here, as far as flat Earth's at the moment anyway, is all speculative as to what's out here.
Okay.
But we do believe that we live here in the inner space within the Antarctica.
Yeah.
I mean, are you aware of the Antarctic Treaty?
No.
Well, apparently the Antarctic Treaty is a treaty that was set up between sort of like countries that were fighting each other at the time, but every country decided to sign this treaty, and the treaty is that nobody can go beyond the what's it called again? There's a line that goes right round, which sort of like is just within the perimeter, if you will, or within the ice wall. But there's a treaty that no independent person could go beyond that line, or they cannot go anywhere near the Antarctica.
Well, I never signed that shit, so if I want to go there, I'll go there.
All right, well, you take your chances. But I mean, there are official sort of like tours, if you will, that you can take, but they only take you to the edge of the ice or whatever, show you the nice little penguins and what supposedly is the South Pole. But
I want a penguin.
You want a penguin now, do you?
I would. Yeah, I'd love a penguin. I might go live there.
So have you been taking notes, by the way?
Not really. I drew a little sun and an orbit, and then I wrote down Arctic Treaty, that one.
It's
So I can look up the treaty.
It's like if we go back to.
Sounds interesting.
It's like if we go back to NASA and the lies. I mean, I don't believe obviously that we haven't been to the moon, because as far as I'm concerned, what it is, I still think it's just an orb, a glowing orb, or even it could be a glowing flat plate. I don't know.
But you don't think that the reason why we see the moon at night is because the sun shines through it?
No.
That's why we don't see it during the day.
The moon has got its own illuminating properties.
Yeah. Okay.
The moon has got its own illuminating properties.
Okay.
But what I was saying now about NASA, and we don't believe in space, and that NASA's a fraud. Just one sec. Just let me pull this up. Have you seen that one before?
The crew of the Challenger's STS-51 supposedly died in a shuttle explosion in 1986. Turns out 6 out of 7 are. Wait, I can't see. Move your cursor.
Still alive.
Still alive and kicking today. Oh, okay.
So on here, other than the one, which is this fat guy here, all the other 6, of these people here. The shuttle apparently launched, and then it blew up in midair in 1986. You've heard about the Challenger, I'm sure. The Challenger that exploded.
No.
And obviously, all these astronauts here. Well, there were astronauts, and this one here, I think, was a teacher, if I'm not mistaken. And she was just along for the ride, type of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, 6 of them have been found at a later date in nice jobs and doing well for themselves.
So did they let their family think that they're dead?
I have
just go fuck off?
I have no idea.
But I will say, and I'm not disproving this or anything, but there was a case. Obviously, I mentioned to you, I think it was yesterday, about Amelia Earhart and how she disappeared. There was a lady in America, I think living in Boston, who a book named and pictured as being Amelia Earhart. And he was sure as hell this was them. The lady sued him because she wasn't Amelia Earhart. I'm not saying that but if these people actually come out and said, "I'm this person," they've been
found. Same name, same date of birth.
See, why would you be so stupid as to keep your name?
Well, if you look, actually, some of them have changed their first name and kept the second names.
I would just not be so stupid as to. I want to make myself disappear, so I'm now going to be.
No, you see what gets the thing with me is like Dave said, that technology has overtaken the lie. I think, like when they created NASA and everything like that, did they ever think that the average person would just be able to find anything they want whenever they want? I mean,
I say this again, and we won't get into it on a Flat Earth podcast. But I've said since about a lot of crime cases, but particularly, like say, Making a Murderer, that if I think when that evidence was planted, the technology wasn't to the advanced state that it is now, and people thought they could just get away with it because what it can't be proven, and now the technology has got to a point where it can be proven, and the truth will come out in the end. And I don't think people have the foresight to see that that things can be undone, and I get that. I do, and don't get me wrong. Like I say, it does make more sense that we live on a flat plane. But
everything makes sense on a flat plane.
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. But as I said earlier, it's not always the most simplest answer that's the right answer. Sometimes things are a lot more complicated than thing. But I genuinely didn't know that we only discovered the Earth was round apparently in the early 1900s. I didn't know that. I thought it was.
No, it's not a case we found out the Earth was round. It was brought into the educational curriculum.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
the flat Earth was stopped, and then into the educational system and into like libraries and everything in the early 1900s. It was then introduced that we would live on a globe, and because there's not many people living today. There's not many people alive now today to sort of like give us their experience of what they were taught.
Yeah, no.
Other than like I say, Dave interviewed. I think she was about 102, 103, and she said like that when she was in primary school or whatever, she was taught that they lived on a flat plane.
Yeah, no, I get that. What I'm saying is, I didn't realise that it.
I didn't.
I thought it was hundreds and hundreds of years ago that the theory of us being on a globe was introduced.
Like I say, it wasn't until I started listening to Dave and then realised when he said like 1900, early 1900s, and I'm thinking, well, when you think about that, like, really, it's only what 4 generations away. No,
well,
3.
No, it depends on obviously your family line. But
yeah, I know, but it could be 3 generations away.
Grandma was born in like 1932, so
her
mum and dad were probably taught about flat Earth.
So it's not sort of that long ago. But
right, you said that if this is all true, I don't think that people will have taken into account the fact that technology has overtaken what they.
Well, yeah. We say it that technology's overtaken the lie.
Yeah.
So take a look at this. Do you believe we went to the moon in that?
No.
So.
I never believed we went to the moon.
You don't believe we've been to the moon?
No.
All right now.
No.
Do you know what, Nix? I never knew that. I never knew that you didn't. So you're saying that the Apollo program, the moon missions, were all a bunch of lies?
I just think that they wanted to beat the Russians, so they staged this thing and didn't think it all the way through. Because why do you have a shadow on a moon? How are you making footsteps on the moon when there's no gravity up there?
Yeah, there's also I mean that could be another topic in itself. I know,
but
fake moons.
It's not that I think they were doing it to trick us or anything. I thought, let's get it over on a lot of people. I think that they were in a race with Russia to get to the moon, and they went, you know what, we'll just fake it.
Well, yeah, for whatever reason, I think the reasoning is obviously just to give us the perspective that we do live on a planet, and there's another planet out there, i.e. the moon, that they have been to, and it is a planet that they have dropped on. And the fact that now they're saying...
Well, the moon's not... They don't claim the moon's the planet.
Well,
the planet.
It's
another sphere. It's another globe type.
Yeah. It's a what do they call them? It's a thingamab body. It's a... whatever. But they're trying to say that we've been out there, landed on it. And obviously they talk about...
You see, my argument to it as well is if we did it in the 1960s, why can't we do it again? I mean, Richard Branson apparently was offering trips to the moon and stuff, but if we had the technology in 1960 to go to the moon, why can't we do it now?
Oh, apparently it can't be done now because we've lost all the data, and we've lost the technology, and it'd be too much pain to build it back again. That is the excuse. That is that. I can pull you the video up of the NASA guy saying that.
The thing is, right, if we are able to go to the moon, you build the money back that it took to get that technology back. It would pay for itself, because rich people would be like, oh yeah, I want to go to the moon. Yeah, I'll pay a few million quid to go on a rocket and go to the moon. You'd make the money back in no time. And if there's people out there that are able to do it, that are able to have this technology, there's smart enough people. If there was smart enough people in the 1960s, there's definitely smart enough people now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Technology is way ahead of, like you say, what it was in. But it's just not possible. The moon doesn't exist as a moon. It just doesn't exist as a spherical, solid thing that you can land on.
Okay.
It doesn't exist, and the moon is like the sun. It's local. It's only just above the clouds, or not that far above the clouds.
So when we fly, why don't we hit the sun?
Well, it's higher than that, obviously. I mean, like we've already discovered. Planes only fly at 35,000 feet.
Yeah, but when you go on a plane, you still go through the clouds.
Certain clouds.
If the sun's that close,
I'd have
thought it'd be like, oh shit, the sun again.
Yeah, but no, you've also got different layers of clouds. You may go through. You may go through clouds when you're flying. There'll be clouds at 35,000 feet. Let's say what you're cruising at in your plane. So yes, you're going to go through clouds.
Oh, another question that's just popped into my head while talking about clouds. Are weather people in on this heist, on this rouge?
Oh yeah. The weather people. I mean, it's like at the moment now. I'm in belief that they're playing with our weather.
Well, if they could make it sunny on my birthday instead of cloudy and rainy, that would be really good, because I want to go to a beer garden.
Well,
it'd be nice of them, because apparently it's going to be like a high of 16 or something on my birthday, which is a bit depressing.
They are certainly doing weather modifications. What do you think chemtrailing's all about?
What?
Don't tell me you've not heard of chemtrails.
If it will stop you explaining it, then yes, I certainly have. But
honestly,
giving you my honest answer, no, I've never heard of that. What you
honestly, you've never heard of chemtrails? I mean, they've admitted they're doing it. The companies have admitted that they're doing it. They send aeroplanes out up into the sky, and they're spraying out the back of the jets. I can't remember now 100% what these sprays consist of, but it's like, again, I don't know if you'll probably be able to Google it, and you'll probably hear the theories, but they're actually coming out and telling us that they're doing this now. Even Bill Gates has admitted that he wants to block the sun out because of global warming. He's trying now to block the sun. He's trying to say,
how the frick are we going? How are we going to live with no sun?
Well,
my B5 vitamin, whatever it's called, whatever it's called, is low enough. Is it? D5, whatever vitamin that the sun gives you.
This is just another. But this is just another fear factor.
Because the doctor said to me, he was like, "You need more sun." And I said, I live in the UK, what do you want me to do? Can I get a holiday on the NHS? You want to send me to Turkey for a week, get some nice sun? No, I'd die without sun.
But as I say, that is what's going on. That's another fear factor that they've got us under, is this fear of global warming as well. Global warming doesn't exist.
Sun, fucking nuts. Not blocking out my sun, I can tell you that.
But Bill Gates has admitted that one of his purposes is to spray what it is. It's just look up in the skies sometimes, and when you see some jets fly over, you've got what is called contrails and you've got chemtrails. Contrails are what a normal aircraft exhausts are.
Yeah.
And they dissipate within a matter of, I don't know, it's difficult to say from here to the height of an aeroplane, but the contrails from exhaust from an airliner will probably dissipate within I don't know, let's say a mile.
Okay.
But if you look up in the sky, sometimes there's plane trails that are going on forever. Now they are chemtrails, and they spread out.
Like stuff like the red arrows and stuff do.
No, that's just a coloured. I think that's just coloured smoke.
Oh, okay.
That's just box standard coloured smoke that they put rocket type things on the aircraft. That when they trigger it, it fires out. It fires out coloured smoke. No, the actual, as I say, contrails is natural aircraft exhausts from the engines.
Okay.
Now, chemtrails is something totally different. They're spraying our skies and creating false, like, it all goes into the clouds and everything, and then it just disperses. And then, if it rains or whatever, that solutions or whatever they're putting out into the atmosphere is falling with the rain.
Right. Okay.
But that's another.
Yeah.
You know when I said about the local sun and it being local?
Yeah.
Right, I think I accidentally pulled this one up before. But see that?
Yeah.
Now, if the sun was as far away as they reckon it is...
You probably failed geometry. Okay, I didn't take geometry, so...
No, but if you look at these sun rays here, yeah? This one here...
Oh! How do you explain rainbows?
Right, I think personally, rainbows are a reflection and a distortion of the sun with the atmosphere, especially like when there's a lot of water in the air. The rainbow is a reflection from the firmament. The dome.
Well, it's supposed to act like a prism, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The sun shines through.
It's like when light hits a piece of glass or a diamond or something, it splurs out. It's a prism. So yes, you can explain it that way, but I think it's a reflection on the firmament dome.
Okay.
I'm thinking
is if you're saying the sun's so close.
Yeah.
And.
But to me,
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where the sun is as far as the rainbow's concerned. I mean, the sun could be reflected.
Is there a little man at the end of it with a pot of gold?
Well, this is it, though. Nobody's ever found the end of a rainbow. You can't. It's impossible to find the end of a rainbow.
That's a shame because I'm poor.
But
I wouldn't mind a big pot of gold. Anyway, so back to this, right? So if I think that the sun's 93 million miles away,
if you look,
how do we explain that?
If you look and follow the direction of those beams, from either side, where will they meet? Somewhere up here.
Yeah.
So, which is proof that the sun, if the sun was trillions and trillions and billions of miles away, sort of like 100 times bigger than the Earth, then the sun would come down in one straight mass of light because it's so far away.
Well, the only reason why that's separated is because of the clouds.
So you're saying the clouds have diverted the light?
Not diverted it, but it's
but the beams are coming in at an angle. So you're either saying that the clouds have made it go at an angle.
But when clouds go away from the sun, though, it blocks the sun.
Yes.
So
especially a nice thick cloud. But as you can see there, in the middle of where there is no rays, the cloud's that thick. There's cloud there. But where you can see
Right, okay, I've got you. It's the angle.
where you can see the rays coming through is where there's no cloud or very thin cloud, and and the sun's beaming through it, but it's coming at an angle. And if you followed those two angles up, the sun is not that far away.
Right. Yeah, no, I've got you. I got what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
See, this is why I say that everything just makes so much sense on a flat Earth.
It does. It makes a lot more sense, and I don't disagree with that. But
But I still haven't convinced you that.
I'm not convinced the world's flat. No, but like I say, very open. I would never say no. The world's definitely a globe. But like it's and you've got a lot of convincing evidence there, and I do understand it all. But like I say,
Dave,
to me,
Dave, please, Dave, come on, to convince my daughter here. You're the man. If you're listening to this, you're the man.
No, the thing is, I agree with you. Everything makes a lot more sense on a flat Earth.
Well, you see, the other thing is as well, is even if I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not the world's best on the flat Earth. I understand it, and maybe I'm not quite as expressive to express the flat Earth. But, just let me finish.
Go on. Mate, I'll let you finish. Go on. I'm just finishing my solar system here while you're talking. Go on.
All right. Things make more sense to me on the fact that the Earth is a flat plane. And let's just go quickly to the lie. Why are they lying to us? Because I'll tell you now, Nikki, and especially since I've moved to Newcastle, you cannot say that you have not seen a change in me.
No, yeah.
Have you seen a change in me or not?
Yeah, definitely.
In what way? What way would you say I've changed? Because I know I've changed, and I know why and how I've changed.
Your eyes are more open, is what I think you would say.
Do you not think am I not more approachable now? Am I not more happier?
Yeah. I mean, that's down to a number of factors, though. That's down to.
Well, I suppose yes. As in, you're going to say it's
moving
down to,
closer to your family.
Yes, but But I'm sorry, no.
You know, obviously being with Don, your whole life's changed from what it was 3 years ago.
It has. But it has. Yes, but even still, I feel inside that I am created from a creator. This plane that we live on, as far as I'm concerned now, where I didn't used to believe this. I mean, but we're told, obviously, aren't we, about the Big Bang Theory, and that the Earth was created with a Big Bang, and then everything was produced from that. Now, I don't believe in that theory no more.
That's your favourite show you're talking about there.
That's just another comedy show. But no, I believe there is a creator. Now, who that creator is and who you believe it is, and it's right for everybody. As in, if I thought it was God, then it's God. And if I get that, that's how I sort of like get my soul at ease, then fine. If, I don't know, people...
Grandma always said you'd turn to God.
She did, didn't she? Yes.
Yeah?
She did. And
I always remember her saying that.
That's the thing, though. Is he God? Is the creator... God, to me, is just another word that's been created.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think there is a force out there.
I think this world...
That's how I describe it, as a force. Whether it created everything, I couldn't tell you.
Well, no one can for certain.
If he did, he could have created me with a decent body, for goodness sake, but...
All I can say is that deep inside me now, I feel that my soul is just, I don't know, out and open. And I believe as long as you abide as being a good person, i.e. be nice to everybody, look after your neighbour, and as long as you do the right things.
Don't know my neighbours.
Because there's too many evil. There's too many sort of like people without empathy and too many evil people out there. But I believe, and I think a lot of part of that is realizing that we are on this flat plane and we are the center of everything. We are a being.
Oh.
We are a being that unlike any other.
Sweet.
But to finalise it off, let's ask the big question. What you asked before is why the lie? Why are they trying to make us feel? And it's exactly what I said before about they want us to feel insignificant. The powers that be want us to feel insignificant, that we're on this as opposed to the universe, we're on this tiny little ball spinning around space, lost, and flying around with other planetary systems and all this lot. That is what they want us to believe, that we're just nothing, that we're lost, that we're just out in space. They don't want us to realise who we are and what we are. Because I think if everybody comes to the realisation of what they're doing, I mean, it's big. It's big. The fact that the amount of people, even when you come down to the nitty gritty, which I talk about on my other site, my conspiracy site, when you talk about what is happening to us, what they're doing to us, and this world is nothing like what we're led to believe it is. There's so much corruption, so much lying and whatever. But I just believe that to believe in the flat Earth is to believe in a creator and the fact that we are the centre of everything. And that's what makes me feel it's changed my life. But that's another thing, you see. I was just about to say that before. That you're now, I mean, you are in the belief of the globe. And at this moment in time, I personally, like I say, I'm nowhere near any good in probably explaining 100% how the flat Earth works.
Oh, I get it. I do. I understand.
I just know in my own heart of hearts, and now I know I am not afraid. I'm not afraid of coming out and saying I'm a flat earther and that I believe we live on a flat Earth. That does not worry me. But it's been instilled into us as fear that if we came out, because at one time, like I say, if you used to come out and say you're a flat earther, you were then accused of being a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracist. And like Dave said as well, he's lost members of his family over this because they just feel I don't know, do they see him as a nutter or whatever? But that is one of the biggest fears. If you, like they keep us in fear. So if you're thinking, well, if I could, I can't admit to being a flat earther because they class me as crazy.
I don't give a toss what people think about me.
Well, that's
but
it.
If I genuinely believed it, it's not that I don't believe it. It's not that I disbelieve you at all, and it's not that I'm dead set on it being a globe, and I'm not dead set on it being a flat Earth. I'm very open-minded. The only thing I will say is I'm very glad that it's giving you a new perspective on life and but with you saying the reason why they've done it to make us feel insignificant, I have to say, looking from a position that I am now, I don't think that if I believed the Earth was flat, that it would change my perspective or outlook on life in the slightest. I wouldn't feel any more or less significant. I wouldn't feel like I wasn't the person that I am.
No.
But that's my own personal feeling about it.
It's like you though. Even at the moment now, though, Nikki, you sort of, I don't know, in the simplicity of things, you worry, don't you? You worry about debts, or they concern you that if you've got debts, I've got to get them paid off. You feel there's a necessity to pay a debt off, but at the end of the day, like I've explained to you before, where banks are concerned, banks are the biggest fraud on this earth. They are the biggest fraud on this earth. If we did what banks do, out of our kitchen, out of our sort of like shed or whatever, we'd be arrested and locked up for years. I don't suppose it's not. You see, people say, well, what does it matter? What does it matter if the Earth is a globe or the Earth is flat? And I don't suppose in your mind it doesn't matter whether we're on a globe or a flat Earth. What the biggest question is the lie. It's the lie and why they've lied to us.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I get the idea of making us think we're in some sort of bigger thingy would make us feel smaller and make us feel, like you say, less significant.
Yep.
But to me personally, it doesn't make me feel any more or less significant being on a globe or an Earth.
Because that's because you do not genuinely believe in your heart of hearts what you are and who you are.
No, but that's the thing. I know who I am.
No, you don't. No, you don't know your soul. You don't. You only know in your imagination and what you imagine, and your imagination is what makes your life. Where you are now, and what you've done through your life has been created through what you've thought of in your brain. Everybody's life has been created by themselves on their perception of life and what they think. So just think about this. If you thought another way in your heart of hearts and your soul, in your mind, you thought another way because your thoughts make your reality.
But again, I came to that kind of, if you want to call it, epiphany when I became poorly. I realised the important things in my life.
Yeah,
my family and my friends, the friends that were there for me when I was going through this.
That again just comes down to you've got a warm heart and you've got empathy. And it's like when you do something, you are aware of your consequences when you do it. That is empathy of what you do to other people. These people that are controlling us and the world have not got an ounce of empathy, and they, to me, and to a lot of flat earthers, these people that are lying to us have lost their soul. They've sold their soul for fame and money. Yeah, they're the rich elite of this world.
Yeah.
And they've sold their soul. They haven't got a soul. So what are they trying to do? Because they're soulless, they're trying to take our souls from us so that we don't have a soul. And this is what education's all about. They promise you through education that if you study and learn what they want you to learn, all education is what they're programming into you. And then you go through life, through your primary school, your secondary school, sixth form, college, university, and all that is just programming you. And that's what and as long as you go along with that program, then you will be successful, because that's what they do to you. You will be successful and you will earn money, you will have money, because you have gone with us and you've gone through our programming. But if you haven't gone through that programming, like me, yourself, to a certain degree, and it's like, I mean, I've said it all the time, and I'll say it to anybody, whatever degree they've got, if they've got a bloody master's in this and a doctorate in this and that and the other, yeah, my theory on it is do not mistake education with intelligence. You have to separate education from intelligence. As much of an education you've had, and however much you're educated, and you can do this and you can do that. Oh, I can take a brain out and replace it with another one. I can take a heart out and replace it with another one. I'm educated. I've got this degree in surgery or whatever. Do not confuse that with intelligence. Intelligence is something totally different. Knowledge is totally different.
Yeah, I suppose, but I guess that it also it depends on your perspective of that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there are people out there with doctorates and stuff then that aren't open-minded, and I get that, but you know, people do work hard, and yeah, they are taught. You are taught from a young age.
I've got no doubt. I'm the last person to say that you haven't worked hard for your education or your qualifications that you've got. But all you've done by working that hard is gone through their programming. You've been programmed more because you've done all that education.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I get what you mean.
From being 5-year-old and going to school and coming out at however much education you go through, you are told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and that's basically it. You're programmed, and then within the education system itself, you just taught. I mean, the most important thing in life that you use every day of your life is money. You use money every day of your life in one degree or another. Are you taught it at school? Were you ever taught about the monetary system, how money is created, and what money is all about?
In high school, I was, yeah.
Was you?
Yeah, well, it wasn't like a class on it or anything, but in history, yeah, because we went through. I can't remember which monarch it was. Some monarch found themselves in a crappy situation, so they went, do you know what, let's just print a load more money, and then obviously the value of whatever it was, the franc or whatever, it was in a different country, the value of it went down, and you had to take barrels and barrels of money to buy a loaf of bread.
Oh yeah, there's all that.
I learned a certain amount.
The thing is now, we've been in it for quite a long time now, as far as the central banking system's concerned, and that is the digital currency. Because I think every one of us uses a credit card or a debit card, and basically at the moment now, money's created out of absolutely nothing. A bank, if you go to the bank for a mortgage and say, oh, I want to borrow, I don't know, £30,000. No money. There's no money or no cash transactions go on. The bank will simply go on their computer and go 30000. There's £30,000 just created out of nothing.
But again, that's why things are getting more expensive. Like Freddos used to be 10p.
But you're not taught that at school though. Kids of today are not taught how money's created. I asked Jack, and he had no idea on how money is.
Well, to be fair, I didn't learn until like year 9 or 10 or something, and that's when I was taking GCSE history.
But the fraud,
I chose to take GCSE history.
The fraud about it all is that they create money out of absolutely nothing by punching figures into a computer, and yet the amount of interest you're charged on that loan. So they create it out of nothing, but yet charge you interest.
The lie type of thing. Personally, I don't think it will change my perspective. Even if tomorrow I woke up and went, yes, the Earth's flat, I'm certain of it.
No.
I believe it in myself. I don't think it would change my perspective of who I am.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Nick. I only know, like I say, from personal experience, that because I know deep down what I am and who I am, I'm not a label. I'm not Stuart, who lives in this flat, just a simple body.
So you're going to give your whole address out?
No, then? I am a deep person with a soul. And I'm tempted to, I'd like to think, I'm not 100%, but I like to think, and this Dave says this as well, that the stars that we see up in the sky, yeah, and there's one for every human being, I think, on this earth, and they are our souls. Or the twinkling stars that you see. Now, that's how I believe at the moment, and I just believe that we are so much more than what we're being told, so much more than what they would like us to believe.
Oh yeah.
And I think once you deeply and truly feel that inside, then
oh yeah, we're possible in
everything
doing
else,
anything that we set our minds to.
Exactly, it's like I say.
We are more than we can achieve anything that we want to if we want it enough.
It's your thoughts and imagination that has made your life. What you think inevitably sort of like gives you your path in life. And like I say, my path now in life is to live and to love and to just be kind to everyone. And if the whole world, or if everybody woke up and to realising exactly who they are and what they are, this world could be a lot bit better place.
Yeah,
it's like the wealth divide, the minuscule of compared, like we say, we are the 99. Well, Dave would say we're the 99.9999% of people on this earth. The ones that are truly controlling what's going on is that minuscule 0.00001% who really are nothing. And if we all got together and shared, can you imagine though, Nick, sharing the wealth of the world? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
If let's say we could get rid of all the elite, all the deep state, all the central banking system, all these fraudsters, Bill Gates. I mean, well.
But I also think I don't agree with the wealth divide.
Why?
And I do.
When you think the 1%.
No. What I mean is I don't think it's right that a certain amount of people should have a certain amount of money. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's morally right. I'm not saying that you're wrong that is the thingy, but I mean, personally, I think that a lot of, I'm not saying some people are more deserved than others, but you think that heart surgeons, you think that they should have the same amount of money?
Now you're going to the other extreme. I'm not saying that people shouldn't earn a good wage if they're doing a good job and they have got that profession and that expertise behind them. Then I'm not talking about that sort of money that you were on about then, like you're saying, like a surgeon or, I don't know, a top-class lawyer who's on millions or whatever. I mean, that is back pocket change. That's small, fractional money.
No, and I know compared to like the elite,
compared to the
Illuminati and everything. Yeah, no, I do, and I get that, and I personally think that it should not spread out equally as such, but you think that
shall I say
living in poverty.
Shall I say if the money was shared out appropriately.
Yeah.
And that the amount of money that, I mean, it's just stupid amount of money that you would never need.
Something to eat at night.
Nikki, that goes back to saying that because you have got a heart, you've got empathy. These have not got empathy whatsoever. They've not got a soul. They don't give a shit, and they don't care about any consequences of what they do. That's what empathy is about. Having the ability to know and to be bothered about the consequences of your actions. And they haven't got it, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, as far as your soul's sort of like rights and your human rights, they've got no control over you. And this is just what, deep inside me, this is what I feel. But anyway.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we can wrap it up because
this one here is looking very, because but I obviously understand, Nix, that you're probably never ever going to become. I mean, even if you seem to the type. We haven't spoke about it in depth tonight. You're having the evidence put towards you, put before you, and This is
No,
what.
I agree with you that it does. Everything makes more sense on a flat Earth.
But don't get me wrong. I mean, Dave's actually brilliant. Dave Wise, I sort of like employ you to employ. No, well, I don't
You're
know.
employing me, sweet. I need a job.
Implore.
The word you're looking for.
I just strongly suggest that you look him up and just. But even say, I don't think even he could convince you, because you're obviously convinced. And you still keep coming up with arguments for the globe, like when I was on about the aeroplane, when I was on about planes and whatever. You're still trying to argument.
No, it makes more sense on a
Yes,
flat Earth.
you
It
say
makes
that.
More sense.
Yes, it does. It does. But you're still saying, and you're still swear by that we're on a globe. You will not.
No, I wouldn't classify myself as that either. I wouldn't say we're definitely on a globe.
Well, yeah, but you've got to.
Okay, so let's just say I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, and that's some of the wonders of the world. We'll never know.
Oh, I think we will eventually.
In some things. I mean, you obviously feel like you know.
Think, oh yeah.
And that's good that you have that belief. I don't know, and I won't ever know probably.
It's only because, like I say, I know about the lies as well, and other lies that were told, and other lies, and then other lies, and other lies. The world to me basically is a lie. A lot of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't walk outside and think, oh, whatever. I don't know. That person's a mirage and they don't exist. Or, I'm not like stupid.
No, I get you. I do. Yeah.
But everything from our minds being taken over, and simple things like the economy, the banking system, the way we're controlled.
I get it.
But anyway, yeah, right. So we'll close this off now tonight. But thank you, Nikki, anyway. And let's say, I know I haven't convinced you, but can I say that it's been a pleasure to attempt to, and it's obviously, I think it might be down to my sort of incompetence of expressing the flat Earth over.
No, you're very good at it.
No,
you're very, very good at it.
But like I say, it's been a pleasure, and I've really enjoyed myself tonight. We've been on now for over 2 hours, 2.25 hours. We've been on.
I've nothing else to do on a Friday night, clearly.
So if you can do a podcast for this long and still be talking and whatever, still have different things to talk about at the end of it, then we've done pretty well. Yeah. But like I say, I know I haven't convinced you, but it's been a pleasure. So I'm going to say good night to you, Nikki. Thank you.
Good night.
And I'll say ta-ra to everybody that's watching this podcast. And Dave, by the way, if you're listening, try and convince my daughter. But anyway, I will see you all later. And thanks a lot, Nikki, again. And I'll say night.
My pleasure. Good night, everyone.
Night.